champion last night, Hayne and Sharp. So plenty to watch and plenty of storylines to unfold here. I'll let them start. And then we'll take you through everything. So just have a watch here for a moment's time. It's a big field. There's 21 gentlemen contesting this 5,000 metre final, and they're all going to get out and suss the pace. Don't be surprised to see Seth O'Donnell maybe make his way there. We can see the world indoor bronze medalist Kai Robinson on the shoulder, but in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Dave, walk us through this. Here he is, Liam Adcock.
So this is what you do. You clap and clap and clap, because don't watch the 5,000. Watch me. In he comes. World Indoor Championship medalist. Charges in.
Ooh.
Good jump. 8:06, his best so far. Of course, at the World Indoor Championships in Nanjing, he had 5 of his 6 jumps for over 8:10. And a couple of those 8:21s to be on the podium to get the bronze medal. But he has had 10 jumps over 8 metres this season, and 8 of them have been further than his lifetime best of 8:15, which extended out to 8:33. So we'll wait for the distance there. 8:14. So another impressive jump from Liam Adcock, who's having a season to remember.
He certainly is, Liam Adcock, and you know what? He's an entertainer. He said he's the ace in the pack at those World Indoor Championships.
Plus 3.1, so the breeze is back in a big way.
It's hard to judge here in WA, and I maintain this. I was on the track the other night, and even when you don't think it's breezy, it's breezy. So attention turns back to this men's 5,000 metres. It's Will Garbalotto who leads it out from Kai Robinson, who, as I said, he claimed that World Indoor bronze medal in China only a few weeks ago. He had such a storied career in the NCAA system over in the US. Mason Magrota hits the board, and that'll be around 8, not quite there, but around it for the youngster, who was a medalist at the World Junior Champs we spoke about, Dave. But this tempo in this 5,000 metres has started off, well, I won't call it pedestrian. It's not quite pedestrian, but it's certainly manageable. About 69 seconds it was through that opening 400 metres, with Will Garbalotto leading through the field. Oh, Janetsky. Geez, I get him confused with Garbs all the time. We've run enough miles with each other. So Logan Janetsky leads it out. It looks like it is Kai Robinson, then Cal Davies, Hayne. On the rail is Aiden Velton, and they've slowed it up big time. It's rolled down to about 2:26 through the opening 800 metres. So they're just cruising along at the moment. It'll suit the likes of a Jude Thomas, who really launched onto the scene this year. He's been around for a long time, as Jude Thomas. He sits out there wide in the purple, and look, he went overseas. He ran indoor. He was actually took down some quick times. He was quick in the mile in the 350 lows. He was quick over the 3K as well. He was good in the national championships, and trailing this field out the back now. Makes the move is Cox, but inside he worked really smartly actually through this pack. Was your 1,500 metre champion, the 18-year-old, and Cameron Myers. So, as we said, he's in this 5K, just wants to see what he can run, and now we see this pace increase. So, they were done with the jog. They said, look, we usually do that via our long run, but we don't really want to do it in our 5,000 metre national championships, and it is going to be Jacob Cox. So, the two Cox brothers from South Australia, they'll have a big support crew following along at home. I'm sure the Runners One community right around them, but we can see Jacob Cox is going to make a move. So I always wonder this, and I always say it, if you aren't the fastest in the field, you get nothing from sitting back. You may as well go out and have a crack, and Jacob Cox is going to take it on here. And he's probably woken up a little bit of a sleeping giant in Seth O'Donnell. If you've never watched him run, he's a man with the mullet who sits in 5th spot, 13-14 this year. He ran a 3:36 in the dark in Doncaster in Victoria. The lights went out with 400 metres to go. And that's when Seth lit the track up and gave everybody something to watch. So watch him in 4. If you watched Maury Plant, if you were one of the 10,000 people who were there live and the million who watched over at home, he was the man who tested Kai Robinson. He let him out for a long way, did Seth. In fact, really until 300 metres to go, and gave Kai Robinson everything to chase, who sits in 2nd. But now it's strung out. So that's a very good sign of injection of pace. Look, Cam Myers is not happy with Will Garbalotto. He put his hand out and said, come on. get moving in front of me here. I want to try and find my sweet spot, and Jude Thomas just following the youngster. So these two are in the middle of this pack.
Love the work of Seth O'Donnell. He's an engaging character. His social media is really interesting. Let's go quickly down to Nana at the high jump, because the height of the bar is now 193, so it's starting to get a little more serious.
Hi guys, we are very blessed to be down here at the women's high jump, where we have the indoor gold and silver medalists Eleanor and Nicola. There are 3 competitors left and we're at 193. The track is heating up and the girls are hoping to get close to their PBs of 202. Back to you guys.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Nana. That is world-class high jumping. You can travel the entire globe and you'll probably be hard-pressed to find a competition that's more competitive than this one right here in Perth. So we're only really missing the Ukrainians. Dave, how are they jumping?
So Nicola over 193 first attempt, so is Eleanor 193, and Emily Whelan has equalled her personal best at 191 with the first attempt. She's got one more attempt remaining at 193. So
that's a watch. Emily Whelan will give you an update on her, an up-and-coming high jumper. Erin Shaw was out at 188, so she won't medal. Good. Bit of distance happening here. Curtis Marshall over 571 as well in this home stretch. So again, building towards that 6-metre jump. We can now see, well, it's a strange way to run a 5,000 metres, because they've picked up, slowed down the accordion style of racing. Doesn't quite suit everybody, but I can tell you a man it does. It's Cam Myers, who just sits on this shoulder now, and he's just now put himself in front of Kai Robinson. Now Seth O'Donnell, we thought maybe he would get out there and lead this, but he's going to play into the hands of the championship racing. Zach Faccioni presses up here now. Jude Thomas as well. We can see Logan Janetsky on the outside. Jack Bruce, who was in that steeple final just yesterday. Jimmy Hansen, the Tasmanian, at the back of it, but they've been happy to let Jacob Cox lead this field through. And Cam Myers, the 18-year-old, who we said took down his maiden 1,500-metre title just yesterday. He had to be so strong to hold off the fast-finishing Adam Spencer and Ollie Hoare as well. He was brilliant yesterday. He'll like his chances off a slow pace. So, Kai Robinson, world indoor bronze medalist. He was the 5-10K champ in the NCAA in 1 year. Hasn't been done often. Ed Cheserek, another one of those names that has conducted that and completed that. But you just get the sense that over the next probably 700 metres, somebody will do something, because you leave too many good kickers in this field. You don't have too much of a chance against the likes of a Cam Myers or a Kai Robinson. So if they're the two class competitors in this field, you certainly don't want to play into their hands. And at the moment, these two are just licking their lips at the prospects of the closing 6 laps.
Well, the bigger question for me, Mitch, is that, you know, the best kickers you mentioned, Myers and Robinson, who of those two do you want to wait for? Does Robinson, is he happy to trail Myers, or does he want to take a little bit more sting out of his legs? I would imagine he does, because he's run the 1,500. So Robinson may have to make a move at some point as they go down the back straight. The pace is definitely quickening up, as you can see that they're starting to get a little more strung out.
So Cam Myers, we could speak about him all day long. This youngster, he put the world on notice a few years ago over in Poland.
Ola Schlager's 197, the bar has gone up to. So first attempt here at 197. The world indoor champion, clear. Good jump. And I can tell you, in the men's long jump, Liam Fairweather, he started the competition. He arrived here in the stadium today with a personal best of 765. He threw that in the rubbish bin on his first jump with a 786. Then in round 3, he jumped 803 with a plus 1.0. So a legal 8-metre jump, 803 for Liam Fairweather, the 22-year-old from New South Wales. So he's up into second spot, and that is a significant performance for him.
So first time over the 8-metre barrier, I imagine, is something incredibly significant for any jumper. This is a moment he'll remember forever, as he holds a silver medal in his hands as well. But as we go back to the men's 5,000 metres, what we thought was stringing out has actually just been brought right back together. And again, they're just playing into the hands of the young master. He's a maestro. It's a symphony out there for Cameron Myers. He's playing every instrument and he's playing it to perfection. So Cam Myers on the rail now, just leading out this big field. We've only lost one. It looks like it might be Will Garbelotto, so a good indicator of what type of racing this is. As they queue up now, just to sit behind Myers, bide their time, see what can happen.
There was just a little freeze of the frame as Eleanor Patterson took off at 197, but she went clear. So the bar has gone up to 199. Ollerschlagers and Patterson. We've got 8 metres 14 leading the long jump with Adcock, and the height of the bar in the men's pole vault has gone up to 588, and I can see Curtis Marshall is stalking around at the top of the runway. So world-class action in the field events in those three, as there's 4 laps to go, a mile to go in the 5,000.
Well, it's borderline overstimulating at the moment, the amount of world-class athletics that's going on. So if your head's spinning, that's all right. Screw it back on. We've only got a few hours left of this absolute masterclass of Australian athletics. So out in front now, it's Kai Robinson. Dave, we talked about it. Who would want to make this move first, really out of the top end of this field? And it looks like it's Kai Robinson. So what he's doing here as well is he's just easing this pace forward. He hasn't made a huge gun-busting or lung-busting move. He's just really started to see who's got fresh legs, who can roll with me here. And the people that we thought would roll with him have. So it's Seth O'Donnell who sits behind, Cam Myers in third, Jude Thomas. Then it goes back to Hayne. Janetsky doing a good job as well. We can see Cam Bruce in there, Faccioni, James Hansen, Cal Davies. So Cal Davies, don't forget, in 2023, he was the 15.5 double. We got Nicola Ollerschlagers on the runway now here as well, and clear at 199. So it just gets better. Eleanor Patterson, your time now. So 3 laps to go. We can see Kai Robinson, Seth O'Donnell. I'm sure everybody here would have watched that Maury Plant meet and saw what that looked like. Maybe Seth just learned a little bit of something there. He's looking comfortable in the second spot, but Cam Myers, the 1,500-metre champ, ready to pounce.
Well, for mine, Seth's got to be the man that goes first. He's sort of got to, does he run for a medal? Here's a question for you. You know more about the distance running than I do. Does he go for the medal, or does he try and go for the gold medal? Because he has to go the longest way out, I think. And he seems to me to be the sort of guy that will be happy to crash and burn and give it his best shot to take the gold. But Robinson's not having it. He's still out in front. He knows that he's got the wheels and the engine and the heart to be able to lead from the front.
I'd hate to go driving with Seth O'Donnell because if he drives like he runs, it's all gas, no brakes. So Seth O'Donnell in that second spot, you just imagine he's waiting for his moment. He just wants to strike. Kai Robinson, though, he'll love this. He'll love what's happening behind him here. He says, boys, you can just let me lead this one out at a pace I'm comfortable with, because I've got a devastating kick. Cam Myers in third, Jude Thomas, a big watch for me. He's shown what he can do this year, and he'll love the fact that it's slowed up. He had that 352 mile indoors. He's run quick over the 3,000 metres. He sits there comfortably in fourth place. Jack Bruce now wants to get a piece of it. Faccioni just slipping towards the back of this leading group. But have a look at this. It's just lap after lap. Slowly but surely it's getting faster. And with 600 metres to go, you can't pick a winner, but you can pick a race. It's going to unravel with 600 to go. So it's going to be Robinson, O'Donnell and Myers, then Jude Thomas, Hansen, Janetsky slipping back with Bruce, and the rest of this field, Dave, just trying to hold on.
Patterson just missed her first attempt. We just saw that in the squeeze box as it's getting to the concluding stages here. We will stick with the 5,000. So Ollerschlagers over at 199. Patterson 2 jumps to come. Marshall not too far away.
So here we go now. We've talked about it lap after lap. What was going to happen? Kai Robinson, Seth O'Donnell, Cam Myers, Jude Thomas, Jimmy Hansen, and now we're racing. So here we go. Kai Robinson keeps that rail position. He loves to just maintain that spot here now, but Seth O'Donnell, he took a learning from Maury. He said, all right, well, I might have gone a little bit too early. I showed my cards a little too quickly. How about this? So sits on that shoulder now. Myers slips back. Jimmy Hansen, the Tasmanian. He won in Adelaide over this distance. He'll love the fact that he can kick down. As I say that now, Myers heard his name. His ears pricked up. He says, I want to get up there for a medal. But here we go. It's a showdown out in front. It's Kai Robinson who leads it out. Seth O'Donnell, the super mullet, comes moving around his outside shoulder. O'Donnell to Robinson. He's got that world indoor bronze. But Seth O'Donnell has something you can't teach. Heart. So O'Donnell, 50 metres to go. Cam Myers out of the track. But Super Seth is a super champion. 13:49. Takes it over Myers, takes it over Robinson. And Seth O'Donnell, you are the national champion.
Well, what a run. We talked about his heart and whether he would push the pace. He couldn't get past Robinson until the concluding stages of the race. He pushed it and pushed it and pushed it and found himself in front. And that is a tremendous performance. He wins the national title. Myers was flying home at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Just ran out of time.
Well, that was just incredible. So he did take a learning from Maury Plant, didn't he there, Seth? He pushed Kai Robinson all the way in Melbourne. We can see down here Curtis Marshall, Dave.
588 first attempt for Marshall and gives it a tickle. The bar comes down in the high jump. Patterson has passed, can't improve her position with a clearance second attempt at 199, so the bar has gone up. And Ollerschlager's on her way. And that's a big clearance. So Ollerschlager's goes clear at 2:01, equals her own championship record set in 2024. And so now Patterson will have an opportunity to clear that height and fight on. Of course, would be second on the countback. It's all happening here at the Western Australian Athletics Stadium. Seth's just making sure that everybody knows who the winner was.
Yeah.
Shaking all of their hands. And it was well deserved.
He says, yes, that was me that crossed the line first. I know. And if you need a physio appointment after this, you know who to call. So,
and jump on my Insta and I'll give you a few tips during the week on how I got it done.
Oh, that's brilliant. Seth O'Donnell, for mine, he's an old school distance
He's a
runner,
bit like,
isn't he?
he's the Australian version of Steve Prefontaine, I reckon. He's a cult hero. And I'm envious of the hair as well.
Oh, the thing I love
Patterson.
about Seth. Oh, you go.
Miss.
Hit. So she got one more?
One more jump, yes.
So one more at 2:01.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll go up to the next height. That might be a stretch. May not be able to improve her position. Of course, she has jumped 2:02. So I think the bar will go to 2:03, which will be equal to the Australian record, which Nicola Ollerschlager has done on a couple of occasions. Long jumps continuing, not too far away from Fairweather, Groder and Adcock. Here's the results of that 5,000, with O'Donnell claiming his first national title ahead of Myers, who flew home. You mentioned whatever he did was going to be a PB. And Kai Robinson with the bronze. So the bar looks like it's staying in the same spot in the high jump. There's 73,000 people down on that infield right in front of the scoreboard, so can't see if it has gone up. I don't think so.